Hey there, I'm Coach Dave, and in this quick tutorial, I want to show you what to look out for in your braking data in Delta. Once again, we're going around Barcelona for this one. I'm using iRacing, but as a reminder, this data analysis rule applies to any game that you're playing: Gran Turismo, iRacing, ACC, LMU, you name it. What we want to look out for here is bad braking habits in our data. This is a bad lap, and this is a good lap. This is a bad lap, and this is a good lap. The biggest difference between a bad lap and a good lap when you're looking for good braking data is the peak of your initial braking input followed by a trailing off of the braking pressure. On my good lap, if we focus on turn 1, you'll see that my braking input looks almost like a one-sided mountain, or peak rather. I get on the brake as quickly as I can. Once I reach 100%, I start to trail off as we approach the apex of the corner. If we contrast that with a bad approach, you'll see that I come on the brake softly, hold the brake too deep into the corner, and then have to come on the brake again a bit later in the corner because I didn't do the majority of my slowing down in the initial braking phase. If we zoom out and just give ourselves a bit of a wider view, here's the bad brake shape, which has got a sloping angle at the start of the braking point or braking input. And if we contrast that with the good braking shape, I have a peak at the beginning of the braking input followed by a trailing off at the end. This is what you want to achieve with good braking. If we go further down or further into the lap, another bad example of bad braking is this on-off braking that I have here. I come onto the brake, I realize I've got on the brakes too early and too softly. I come off again, get back on again, off again, on again, and so it goes. This is often caused when you do not have a clear and well-defined reference point, which is rule number 2 in my fundamentals of driving. Contrast that with a good braking shape. I get on the brake, get to a peak as soon as I can, and then start to trail off progressively into the corner. This gives me a much more stable platform as I go into the corner. I brake, the car goes down, and as I'm coming off the brake, it's the weight transfer is going in one direction. It's coming back up. So the nose of the car after diving down is lifting back up, which gives me a more progressive entry into the corner. Every time you stab the brakes, the front will come down. So let's just go back to the bad data. The front will come down each time I stab the brakes, which creates unwanted weight transfer. And this can create oversteer most of the time going into a turn. So that's how you can analyze your braking data in Delta. I hope you found that useful.